Good afternoon. As John said, my name is Diehl. I was asked to speak about my journey that started here at Blue Ridge. I was born and raised in the Shenandoah Valley. I have three beautiful girls, my wife Nicole and daughters Ella and Evelyn, 3 and 1 years old. Most would agree I'm very outnumbered. Some of you might know my mother from the BRCC faculty, Joyce Diehl. She worked at Blue Ridge most of my childhood and retired a few years back. My father, Don, worked at Shenandoah Valley Electric for 36 years. As a young child, I was always in my father's footsteps. I would play in his work truck and look at all the tools. I loved to learn about electricity and what he did. Most kids play with toys and stuff, but not me. I'm reminded all the time how I carried an orange extension cord around my shoulder. It's true. One summer when I was around 8 or 9, my mom enrolled me in the Learning Can Be Fun program here at Blue Ridge. I was excited and could not wait, as the program was for robotics and electronics. I can remember those days almost perfectly. We were in the old computer and electronics lab that Jim Allen and Jim Richardson had developed. During the classes, we would build and program robots, assemble and solder circuit boards, just to name a few. Learning can be fun set my mind on ideas and technologies that you wouldn't get exposed to at school. This experience sparked my interest in many different things: Lego robotics, electronics kits, RC cars, and most of all, computers. I attended this program for several years and I absorbed some of the foundations of electronics technology. I didn't know that at that time it would become my future. In middle school, I was enrolled in TSA, Technology Student Association program, where we competed in many challenges on the regional and state levels. Years passed and I moved on to high school, where things changed a little. My interests were the same. There were sports, friends, popularity, status, and of course dating. I'll be honest, my parents would agree I didn't do that great in high school. I was distracted and not challenged in a way that got my attention. Then came graduation. I thought, how am I supposed to do well in college when my grades are so poor in high school? My parents encouraged me to enroll in Blue Ridge and start taking courses here. I was fortunate enough to receive a two-year electronics scholarship from Comsonics Incorporated. Having this benefit forced me to do well and keep my grades up, as it was on the terms of the scholarship. I quickly found my groove as I entered the same lab I used in Learning Can Be Fun years before. Nothing but the technology had changed and I was learning great stuff. Most of my courses were taught by Jim Allen, or Jim Richardson, you see there. And oh man, were they smart. Over the course of the first semester, Jim Allen and I became very close friends. He encouraged me to apply for a job at Avertech, a sister company to Dynamic Aviation, where he also worked as a consultant. I did, and I worked there throughout my career at Blue Ridge. Jim Allen was one of the greatest inspirations to me since my childhood. He taught me things I didn't ever think I could learn. For my final project, we paired up and fabricated a robot based off the Mars rover. He later named it Perky 2. It's probably still here somewhere. I had the great pleasure of presenting the robot in front of Governor Mark Warner before his commencement speech at my graduation. With my associate's degree under my belt, it was time to make a decision on my next steps. I enrolled at Old Dominion University in the distance learning program where I studied electrical engineering. After one semester of online learning, I opted to transfer to the campus to finish out my degree. Most college students that live off campus partying don't do that great, but I studied and I worked hard and I was focused. I made the dean's list with above the 4.0 grade point average the first semester. I was blown away, but I realized I'd found my passion. I later graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Electrical Engineering with a minor in Engineering Management. I made straight A's and was a member of the International Honor Society throughout my entire college career at ODU. After graduation, I had a job lined up back in the Valley working for Walter Kurt at Power Monitors Incorporated as a junior electrical engineer. He and I designed cutting-edge technology, and they were quickly impressed with my abilities as an engineer. I did well at PMI and moved fast within the company from junior engineer to senior design engineer within 4 years. I was senior design engineer and supervisor over production operations during my 5th year at PMI. I was a huge part in the development of 5 patented products used by the power quality industry around the world. I was involved with everything the company did. In fact, I even met my wife there. Although PMI laid down the basis for my career, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I wanted the opportunity to grow and have more diversity. I landed a job at Merck as a controls engineer, working with industrial machinery in the pharmaceutical environment. While I was at a culture shock, PMI had 50 employees and Merck has approximately 1,100. I went from one of 6 engineers to one of 200 engineers, but I continued to excel in my career even at Merck. I went from a controls engineer to manager of maintenance operations with 36 people reporting to me within 2 years. I was in charge of the entire maintenance department for a manufacturing franchise producing $1.7 million in life-saving antibiotics each day. My time in management lasted 3 years, and man, am I glad it's over. Not fun. I'm now working as a senior specialist in technical operations in direct line with the FDA. I'm currently a mix between a chemical, mechanical, and electrical engineer. I truly think Blue Ridge Community College technical programs gave me the fundamentals I needed to enable all this to happen in my career. The transition from learning can be fun to OU's engineering program and everything in between was a wonderful combination. It's been a number of years since I went to Blue Ridge, so I know how much things have changed. I recently heard from multiple sources, one of them being my brother-in-law, who is in fact on the front page of the booklet there, odd enough, that the new mechatronics program is excellent. Valley has a vast array of industrial jobs available, and programs just like these are exactly what are needed to fill these positions. I've talked about my story not to brag on myself, but to brag on the success of Blue Ridge Community College and all the people that made it possible. I met a lot of great people and learned a lot from Blue Ridge. It's nice to know that good things can come from local sources. I have something I want to share. This is the same shirt I was given the first year I attended Learning Can Be Fun. This particular one is not mine. I finally threw it away as it was no longer useful, even as a cleaning rag. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all those involved in making Blue Ridge Community College and its foundation a piece of my success story. It all started in Learning Can Be Fun here at Blue Ridge. Thank you.